post for those in doubt. Hey everyone, welcome back to Childfree for Life. Don't forget to subscribe to be a for-lifer. I'm a dad, but I'm not just a dad. I quit my job and stay home full time. This was mostly due to COVID, but the decision made sense due to other circumstances as well. I'm attentive and creative and engaged and engaging. I'm nurturing and loving. I'm thoughtful and conscientious. I love my kid an insane amount. He's the most perfect thing I've ever seen and I love him unconditionally. But oh my God, I have to exist in a state of denial because in rare moments when I allow the truth to shine, I want to end myself. I hate my life. My marriage was never really fulfilling relative to my formerly adventure-filled life. Now my marriage feels as oppressive as a totalitarian regime. I went from running and placing in the high single digits in 100-mile ultra marathons to being 30 pounds overweight and not being able to wipe my behind comfortably in 2 freaking years. I can't imagine being more unhappy. I haven't been intimate in 3 months, and when I didn't really enjoy it because we had to be quiet or we'd wake up the baby. You want to know why you get bingoed? It's because parents have to exist in a state of denial because of the horrors of what they've done are too awful to admit, and misery loves company. My situation is one of my own making, and I'm responsible for making a human being, so I'm sure going to nail parenting him so that his life is the best for him that it could be. But if I could hit the rewind button and erase the last 4 years of my life, I would. So if you are doubting your child-free status, don't. I'm really grateful for all the nice messages and awards and things. This post was just a rant and a release. I didn't think for a second it would strike a chord with so many people. I hope that it was helpful to some who read it, and I know that it was super helpful for me to say it and to not be castigated for how I feel. Thank you. Went out on a date with a guy that kept asking what I'd do if I had an accident. So, this happened a month ago. I basically got set up on a blind date with the brother of a friend of a friend. When I showed up to the date, I was already turned off by the fact that I had been lied to about the circumstances of the date. You see, friend A said her friend's brother saw me in a bar and wanted to get to know me, so she gave me his number. When I texted him, he had no idea who I was, and he had never seen me in person. His sister had just mentioned me to him as someone he may like and showed pics. Maybe I'm being petty, but I just hate surprises like this. I didn't hold it against him though and still went on the date. During our dinner, he mentioned having kids in the future. I flat out told him I wasn't interested in kids. I felt an obligation to let him know, especially since he's 32 and I'm 25, and I didn't know if he was the type of person to be in a time crunch to get married or start a family and thinking that a 25-year-old would be okay fast-tracking things. I also told him I wasn't looking for marriage ASAP and wanted to take things slow. He seemed to agree with all the reasons I said I didn't want kids. Lack of freedom, destroying my body, the possibility of having a kid with severe mental or physical health issues, the kid just turning out to be a terrible human a la Ted Bundy, financial concerns, the earth being on fire, etc. He said he liked the idea of kids, but was also concerned about the things I listed. He then asked what I'd do if I had an accident. So, we're in a very public restaurant in the rural red state South. Part of me wanted to say, I'd get an abortion yesterday. But to not be a complete butt wipe or draw negative attention, I just said I don't plan on having any. He dropped the kid talk after that. I stupidly agreed to go out with him again. We happened to be driving somewhere and we passed one of those crisis pregnancy billboards anyone in the South is familiar with. I think I made some sort of comment and he asked again what I would do if something like that happened to me. By this point, I was like, what the frick? And it made me feel like if I did decide to pursue a relationship with this man, he tried to baby trap me. Besides that, he kept trying to fast track a relationship even though I told him about my bad past relationships and how I wanted to take things slow. I broke things off after 2 weeks of talking or dating. I at least told him I didn't want to date and that he should find someone else. He claimed he understood, but then kept trying to text me especially manipulative crap like, I miss you. Which especially ticked me off, given the amount of times a guy has broken up with me in the crappiest ways. Ghosting, cheating. I could have, and I guess I should have, been a butt wipe and just ghosted, but I was trying to be an adult. You learned a lesson here and never going on date number 2 with a guy like this. Get back in the saddle and go find someone better to date. There will be someone out there for you. Sometimes it just takes time to find them. I'm curious as to know why your friend lied about the whole seeing you in a bar and wanting to get to know you thing. Did you confront your friend with this lie? I haven't. So basically it was my hairdresser's friend. Obviously, I see my hairdresser periodically, but the friend I also see occasionally out and about. She's nice, and I've hung out with her and my hairdresser at the local brewery, and they've invited me to places. The friend told me first that her brother noticed me at the same brewery and attempted to connect me with him a few months ago, but I was fresh off a breakup and declined. I was at the hairdresser's in September, and she said the guy had asked her to give me his number the next time she saw me. I haven't seen or had contact with either one since then. I really do like my hairdresser, and I'll probably go back eventually when I need my hair done again, but if she's anything other than understanding about the situation, I'm going elsewhere. Regarding I should have just ghosted, but I was trying to be an adult, tossing a dangerous, raging butt wipe in a dumpster is being an adult. Please don't put yourself in dangerous situations like this just to be polite. Just get the frick out however much rudeness or pepper spray that requires. Also, please in the future, vet people before you agree to an in-person meeting. And the second you discover a lie or manipulation in any of it, block everyone's number who are involved and get rid of them. This 100,000%. I've had to ghost people before because they did not take no for an answer. At that point, it isn't ghosting or being a butt wipe. It's being firm about your boundaries. I tell every single woman who is dating to make their boundaries their religion because there are so many disgusting predatory people who love pushing boundaries. And I also tell them not to be afraid of being rude to creeps like this one. When you're nice to creeps, you give them an opportunity. When you're rude, you give yourself an out. OP, you'll dodge an entire nuclear missile if you ghost this mother. 1. I sincerely hope you were not intimate with this man. He is a walking red flag factory and I hate him. 2. I hope you block his number. 3. See number 1. I did not. Funny enough, the last time I went out with him, he went on a speech about how he just wasn't looking for intimacy and that he wouldn't try to make me have it with him until I was ready. Literally an hour later, he invites me to see his house and then tries to make a move to get me to be intimate with him. We kissed once and he was immediately like, "Do you want to go to the bedroom?" A comment I've heard before and love is getting pregnant is an accident. Giving birth is not. I do love that comment, but unfortunately, it's not always true. Cryptic pregnancies are a thing. About 1 in every 475 pregnancies is undiscovered until at least the 20th week of pregnancy, and about 1 in 2,500 isn't discovered until the woman goes into labor. Yeah, my ex-boyfriend had a woman in his police academy training find out she was 5 months pregnant in the middle of it. Literally just did not pop until then, and of course, too late for an abortion. So definitely not 100% true, but close enough for a fun snark for me. That's not necessarily too late for an abortion. There's an average of about 4.5 weeks per month, so 5 months would be almost 22 weeks. True, but that particular state bans abortion after 20 weeks. She also couldn't just up and leave the academy to get one elsewhere, so I think her and her partner decided to just keep it. Roe v. Wade was supposed to stop states from banning abortion prior to viability, specifically as 24 to 28 weeks, but a lot of states were able to ban it at 20 weeks just because no one challenged their BS bans. And second trimester abortions get a lot more expensive with each successive week. 7 states, soon to be 6 though, come January 1st, as one of them passed a 24-week ban this year, don't have a legal gestational limit. But their clinics typically refuse to perform abortions past a certain early point in pregnancy anyway. Only 2 of those states actually have a clinic that performs third trimester abortions.